And welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to the newest session of Tales of Exandria. Now, before we jump right into the action, as per usual, we're going to go over a few short announcements. The first of which is if you would like to join our fantastic community, support the channel, support us, and potentially even play with us, please consider joining our Patreon. The link is down in the description below. However, if you would like to do a few other things to support us without giving us money directly, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment on the video, share it amongst your friends. The more our YouTube channel pops off, the more that we will allocate to letting it grow so it becomes a greater and better resource for everybody out there. In addition to that, I just started an open application process for anybody who wishes to join one of my paid cast shows. We are going to be having a show cast inside of the New Embrace universe, fully paid for everybody who's involved inside of the project. I will be managing the project itself and potentially have to be a player depending on how everything else goes. If you are interested in auditioning, please type !announcement in our Twitch chat, and that'll bring you over to a link to our Twitter where you can apply on a Google form. And last but not least, Gamer Beans. We are a proud affiliate of Gamer Beans. If you want to get yourself some beans, some coffees, get yourself that good bean juice, please consider clicking that link down below. You are supporting a small creator instead of one of those evil business things out there on the internet. So definitely do that. I believe that is going to be everything from me. So, Silverin, tell us what happened last session.
Last session, we began by getting introduced to a new member of our cadre, our party, a strange hobo-like individual named Willie. We then went back to Vasselheim via tree and had to introduce Willie to our boss, Lauren, who decided to allow him to join us, as he came with recommendation on the condition that when he wasn't working with us, he was put on stable duty with no magic or anything, just stables and duty. Luckily, Mary and the rest managed to go and find a contract real quick, and not just any contract, a good one. A juicy one, fitting of ones of our level and such. Hunting a pack of winter wolves that were causing trouble in a place called Uthadern. While that was happening, Sylvan went to town to get some spell components to hopefully ease our journey later, and had a interesting experience as he realized he was being followed and watched, but by whom he couldn't tell yet, even after he'd called them out. Upon reuniting, they decided that the best and easiest way to get to Uthadern would be via plane shifting, thanks to Willie. And thus we then shifted to a plane that was basically a tundra. And we got to hear certain members of our party got to hear from someone that Willie knew as the Devourer in their heads. Afterwards, we rested again, and Willie then plane shifted us back to Uthadern, or at least the area where Uthadern was located in the Graying Wildlands. I first met with a rather dangerous and cold reception at the gates of Uthadern. We explained that we were doing a job for the Slayer's Take, and then we were later explained that this job was a little bit more than we had originally thought, as things had changed. The Winter Wolves were in fact being led or used by some Yetis, and we were currently being escorted by a Batchwell Lighthammer. Arbiter?
Nope.
No? Just let me find the name of that guy. No, not him. Major Bronze, who was leading us to meet the Arbiter Batchwell Lighthammer.
So, you're all walking through the city, starting to head down a set of stairs deeper into the mountains of Flotket Alps. Once you make it all the way down the stairs, you look around at an even more refined civilization here. The buildings are soft, smooth soft, smooth stones of incredible craft with intricate drawings of their culture throughout the history being depicted upon it. You see individuals walking around wearing robes, some of them wearing soldiers and warriors' garbs with some notable rankings on their sides. As you are moving through here, you do have the Major Bronze. Right, so, I'm just gonna drop you off with Batchwell, and, my house is right over there. He points to the east side, where you do see that there is about 16 to 20 different large homes. Mine's the one with the purple shutters and a little bit of the algae growing in the front lawn, so should be easy enough to find.
Right, sounds lovely.
Thank you. All right. He brings you over to a very large building, roughly about 80 to 120 feet tall, almost as wide as your peripheral visions will allow you to see on either side of you. He looks up at this building, and you see a little spark of admiration in his eyes. You see the incredible smooth stonework of this contraption. These stones themselves have been shaped and molded into towers erecting on either side of it. The front of this building has trimmings of wood just to accent it, some of which have been whittled beautifully into sculptures of different dwarves, a handful of elves, and weaponry that they adore and hold dear to their culture and civilization. Major Bronze walks inside with all of you, and there's a front clerk who looks up, a pretty young elven boy looks over at you all. Hello, how are you today? Hey, how you doing, Jamison? So these people, they're the ones that were sent a few weeks ago to us.
Well, hello. We're with the Slayer's Take.
Yep, that one. Oh, wonderful. The Arbiter has been expecting you for some time. I assume your ship ride over here was pleasant?
It wasn't. I'd say the arrival could have been a bit not quite as rough, but we made it well, nonetheless.
Ah, that is wonderful. Please follow me. They stand up from the desk, only coming up to about 5 feet tall, maybe 5'1", 5'2", very short for a elf, and begins walking down the corridor. Now, as you're going through the different halls of this beautiful building, so is this your first time in Uthodurn?
Yes, for my sake at least. I don't know if anyone else of you have been here, but
Yeah, first time here.
First time? Wow. So we are a very civilized culture. We have wondrous hunting that happens around these parts as well, if that is something to your liking. Though with the Yeti infestation that we currently are experiencing, it is becoming a bit more difficult to handle. Of course, after you all finish with that, we do have a wondrous hot spring that's a little bit northern of our city. It's a bit difficult to get up to, but for hardy adventurers, it might be a lovely spot for you all to relax and enjoy for a period of time.
that sounds worth a look at least.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately, none of the hot springs are here. We're always afraid of the volcano underneath the mountain exploding at a moment's notice.
Right.
A what?
Is that something that's happened before?
Not in our written history.
No, I should hope not. And do you expect it to potentially blow up all of a sudden?
Well, we certainly hope it doesn't.
Well, yes. But is there? Right, never mind.
Are you worried
I'm
about the
sure-
imminent danger in your own existence based off of the lava?
Yes.
Well,
Oh, that is reasonable. We're fairly safe. That's why we have that gigantic gorge surrounding us.
I see.
If the lava does explode outwards, only a little bit would actually hit the city itself. Those of us have already set up an underground bunker of sorts for everybody to come down here, and the lava would flow into the canyon, engulfing around us and building upwards instead of consuming our city.
I see.
Yes.
If anything, the lava might just get hardened by the snow if it doesn't melt and harden before it even gets to the city.
Well, we certainly hope, but we've taken every precaution just in case.
Wait, wouldn't it also follow down on that bridge you have? Wouldn't it like a funnel?
No, the bridge is going to the north side. If it ended up hitting the gorge itself, it would fall down from the south, based where the volcano is behind us. Or sorry, vice versa. North side is where the volcano would flow into. South side is where the bridge is, since it goes further towards the Flatkept Alps. And of course, it is on elevated ground as well, so anything that does flow through the other area, I mean, there's a chance that it would hit the bridge, but that's much more easily manageable than mass genocide of our entire culture.
Yes, I should say. Right.
So-
Well, so long as it's not expected to blow up anytime soon, I suppose we're.
Just a rumble every couple of weeks or so. It's not an issue.
Who made the choice to build a town here?
Oh, that would have been Uthodurns themselves, long time ago. There was a large culture of dwarves. In fact, if you want to talk to Lighthammer himself, his family are two of the founding families from back then.
I think someone should have a word with him about this.
They have. I've heard that their remains are preserved in the Uthid urns.
Silrin, where you're from, do you have any experience with volcanoes?
I mean, middle of the ocean, there's
Nope.
sometimes underwater. Okay.
That's earthquakes, that's tremors, that's plates crushing. It's not volcanoes.
Who knows what's in the Feywild?
I don't even think the Fae like volcanoes, to be fair.
They
Well,
don't
I
like
mean, it might be a
random
fun-
explosions.
They like random
could've-
explosions, but not random destruction of all their pretty trees and animals.
Desert.
I mean, I was gonna say I could imagine one Fae like playing a prank on another Fae by making a volcano in their place.
And then they go, no, no more of these things. Against the rules.
I may have read about volcanoes once.
They're like,
sometime.
Sure, roll a nature check, Mary.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
I just found my
You've
sheet.
traveled the world. You've talked to a lot of people.
Yep.
And Marquette actually has a fairly large volcano population. Not in the city itself, but on the continent.
Nice. Not
Population
20.
of volcanoes.
24.
So, Mary, as to not give anybody else any terrible ideas, I'm going to message you in private. What the fuck is your name on Discord?
Ilvorn.
Thank you. That one. Give it a second to load. Okay. So go ahead.
Willie has no knowledge on volcanoes.
Absolutely not. You never stay in a place too long. You might have appeared, saw one happening, and go, all right, this is finally how I die.
And then it just like laid on the ground, it's like take me lava, and right before the lava hit, just popped out.
Probably. All right.
the Fae are chaotic, but even they're like, no. This is too chaotic of a volcano.
God damn! I just realized that was a nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary knows everything about volcanoes.
Oh, not really. A 24 is decent information. A 25 is really good information.
No, I was thinking just because nat 20 is
Yeah.
why.
No, that doesn't imply.
I sort of skimmed through the very exact book I should have read.
Are you sure it
Thoroughly.
wasn't because you one time conned an entire tribe to believe you were a volcano deity?
Well, yeah, but
Wait, is Kuma allowed to make a roll? Because Marquette.
Are you sure your volcano's not going to
Yeah,
erupt?
you can roll a nature check. Puma.
5.
I mean, sounds like they're pretty peaceful about it. What should you worry about? You know a lot less about all of this shit.
Oh, wait, that was a history. What?
Yeah, your -1 means you're gonna fail anyways.
I might have been proficient. You don't never know.
I see the number.
I mean, luckily we have Superfang on our side, so if the lava comes our way, we're like, no, plot armor, and then hold Superfang up front like Simba, and the lava just parts around us.
Nah, you would die.
Yeah, okay.
And then I remove rolling from it just to spite you.
This is why we have a druid.
Yeah, who can turn into an owl and get the fuck out of there while you all die.
No, a giant owl. So I grab Superfang in one claw, and then one lucky individual in the other.
So Kuma.
Will always renounce the Changebringer and be sent back to that hell that he was in.
Doors can pop wings and fly away.
need to read up on if there are any like animals that resemble hot air balloons that we just ride away in.
But anyways,
Mary would be the one that's in trouble.
you all continue walking through, and once you get down this grandiose hall with all of these beautiful murals and fantastically crafted sculptures of different people of influence in history, you eventually come over to a very large chamber with 2 large double doors. The 2 guards out front of it are both elven, tall, maybe around 6 feet each, with broad shoulders and very intricately produced and very expensive, masterful, full plate mail armor. Both of them turn and look down at Jamin. Hello, all of these are the individuals that were supposed to be here a while ago. They are here now. Slayer's Take.
Yes.
Yes. They nod, open the door, and allow you all to enter in. Jamin will walk with you all. Just find yourself some seats. Be comfortable. Feel free to take a look around. He loves talking about all of his personal effects. And I'm sure he will be with you with due haste.
Right.
Question: You
I
said
just
waiting
had-
a while. When did you first submit the request to the Slayer's Take?
Our first submission was roughly over a month and a half ago.
I mean the date.
A month and a half ago.
DM, can I make a check because I've been through interplanar crap? Did we lose time spending that day in the hell?
Yeah. You would just know. It's no roll. They said, oh, we expected you like 3 weeks ago. When you accepted the mission yesterday.
Stupid interplanar bullshit.
Well, sorry. We had a bit of a delay, I suppose. I had another question pertaining to the volcano. You said it rumbles once in a while.
Every couple of weeks, yes.
Right. Has that the occurrence of the rumbling, it hasn't increased in frequency, has it? By any chance?
Not that I've personally noticed, but if you are concerned about it, I assure you that all of our finest mages are on the task of keeping track of everything. And don't worry, it has to be a pretty big rumble for us to feel it 26 miles away.
Right, yes, I suppose. Well, anyway, I just read a book on volcanoes once. Just pieces of it. I remember
Fascinating.
Yeah, right. I probably should have read the whole thing. Anyway,
Well, here you all are, and you do see the Arbiter's personal office. Very wide open room. There appears to be two long, handcrafted wooden couches with soft purpley cushions on them. Three personal chairs that are all on the same side of the area as one another. The craftsmanship on the table itself is beautiful. The wood was hand carved and polished at the end, and it appears to be some foreign type of wood. There's bookshelves on either side of you that are just filled to the brim with fascinating books. There's also a very large desk that sits a little bit shorter than most desks that you've all seen, other than Jimmy's, a little taller than his, that has no paperwork on top of it, but there does appear to be some type of ledger or journal, as well as other knickknacks and fascinating things that this individual probably is keen on.
right.
Anything invisible that's interesting?
Invisible? Oh, yes. There is an invisible eye in the corner of the office looking at the desk.
Gotta love your glasses.
Oh no, this isn't the glasses, this is the robe.
So, yeah. You all are going to be waiting for the Arbiter for a little bit of time. Do you just aimlessly stare off into space, or would you like to do anything?
I'm going to go through the bookshelf a little bit and just skim through what's there, and if there's anything particular about the history or the history of Uthodurn, and specifically the Lighthammer family, I'm going to spend a bit of time just reading about that.
Okay.
Did I hear Dorthan mention interplanar travel bullshit?
No, that was out of character.
If we're alone in the room, like,
There's the invisible eye in the corner.
I'll say to Silver in a B speech, there's a invisible eye in the corner of the room.
What?
B
Will's
speech.
gonna say Willie can speech.
You can.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, as much as I'm capable of getting rid of it, do you think that'd be a smart thing to do?
Question is, who placed it?
Probably the people here. Does it look like a scrying eye, or does it look like something else?
I'll describe it to Silverin.
All right, roll an Arcana check, Silrin. And roll a performance check, Kuma.
Okay.
With that roll, yes, this appears to be some type of scrying eye or some type of sentry-like eye that is meant to keep watch of very important and influential people's workplaces.
So like a security camera, pretty much.
Yeah, it's an arcane security camera.
Okay. It's just making sure everything here is fine. If anything, we'd get in trouble for breaking it.
Yeah, probably.
Is there anyone? We're the only ones in the room, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's the guards right outside the doors.
Someone's gonna quickly pop his head out. Excuse me, what's today's date?
June 14th.
Someone then close the door and then head back. When we left Vasselheim via plane shift, what was the date then?
It is currently 3 weeks past
Okay, just
that date.
Just confirm.
Yeah. Asking for specific dates in a D&D game is...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So, Willie, 3 weeks.
That's impossible because we were
3
only
weeks.
Of course, it was 3 weeks. We went to a different plane of existence. Time moves differently.
what?
We could have been
You
here.
guys not know that?
Why would that's not true. I've been there. If that's the case, I wouldn't be. How old am I? he's just confused.
Every place handles time differently.
Well, I wish someone had said that before we decided to go to a different plane to get
I thought
here.
you guys knew that.
Guys, we made it. That's all that matters, right?
We could have been here 3 weeks ago.
And what? Why didn't we do that then?
I don't know. Why didn't we? So and then looks kind of towards both like glares at Willie and then also glances at Mary.
We've learned an important lesson. Willie doesn't know what he's doing.
Well,
I'm just looking up, just shrugging my shoulder and looking back at the book.
Roll me an investigation, Mary.
All right.
Potentially, we could have been here before the Yetis
What?
took the firewalls.
Get them all out of your system now.
Yeah.
It's better than you
Goddamn.
doing that when you sneak attack a bitch. Like, I guess I'll psychic blade.
Yeah.
Willie, you mentioned a while ago when Mary got you that new shirt.
Oh, it reminded me of my home, Solemn, because the
Yeah.
pattern, which is very odd. Unless, Mary, did you make this for me?
What?
Did you make this for me and didn't really buy a shirt?
I didn't make it for you.
Oh,
She stole it.
what?
Because,
Out of game. How would you know that, Dorthan?
Because I know you're a. Because I
Do
know
you?
you're a conniving.
Do you actually though?
No.
I feel like you're metagaming.
Yeah, Silverin
The
accuses
only
her of
interactions
it.
I've had with Mary is you freaking trying to get the boss to get away with shit.
Oh yeah, she's playful.
I'm a fae. I know what that means to
Yeah.
be playful.
You could be suspicious, but yeah. Knowing that she stole it, though, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Okay.
You know,
sorry.
if anything, like Silverin's like Candace from Phineas and Ferb, and Mary is Phineas and Ferb.
Both
Like I
in one.
accuse her, but she never gets caught.
Gotcha.
Because something about that place, Willie, is really weird. That Tundras?
Yeah, the Devourer says things, and there's a lady there, and
Yeah. It's not that. What do you know about the ethereal?
Willie doesn't know anything out of character.
Wait, what do you mean there's a lady that lives there?
Oh, this old lady. I tried talking. Everybody just ignores me there. It's really weird. It's almost like they don't know that I'm there.
The reason why I'm mentioning this is normally because I could see into the ethereal, and normally there's like a mirror above me. That didn't exist. There was no mirror, but there was like weird clumps around us that many different languages, and one of those clumps mentioned what was it? I believe it was like 34 Solemn has been finished.
Solemn?
Solemn, yeah.
We could go back. I mean, how many of the languages could you read? Because
Just the ones that are
everything.
But I remember you mentioning Doors and Willie that you appeared somewhere. There's a lot of stuff that was there. It's almost like what's it called? A timeline by the looks of it.
I mean, I can contact the being right now. It said we were at a vergence of some.
Yeah. That was one of the last ones I saw. 1631, Verges summoned Fate Touched.
Ooh, wait, well, what? Dorzen, are you fate touched? Just looks over at Dorzen.
Literally around everyone who doesn't know this. It's really awkward to talk about.
Yeah.
We learned actually just a few days ago that he used to be one of those horse people somehow.
Man,
You mean those insects?
Centaurs.
I was originally a centaur of the Feywild. Now I am an Azamar of the Raven Queen.
that's weird. But there was other ones like The same one, 1631. Tundra's secrets are discovered, which I assume is what I saw. Then,
And roll me an intelligence check, Kuma.
okay.
The year right now is 1631.
Wait, that's this year.
PD, post, or,
Divergence.
yeah, post-divergence.
So what?
So it's possible him reading it is the reason it showed up.
Then means it's a growing timeline. What do you want?
Right. Okay, then. Oh my. I pull out some paper like 33, the split has been confirmed. 34, solemn has been finished. 800, Irene's sacrifice marks the end of the calamity. She chooses two to replace her for the others.
Silverin, you know that name. Well, he mispronounced it. It's Irene.
Irene?
Irene. That is... Actually, roll me a religion check, Silverin.
I bet this one's going to be the one that's not a good roll this time around. Oh, not.
Um, 10:23, his agents arrive. 10:45, the seeds of distrust have been sown. 1606, Zodiac falls, champions form anew. And then 1631, Tundra's secrets are discovered, and Verge is summoned fate touched.
Wait, so go back a bit to when you said Ariane.
Irene.
Mispronounced it.
Irene.
Irene's sacrifice marks the end of the calamity. She chooses two to replace her for the others. That was at 800.
Interesting. Although I'm honestly a little bit surprised you're sharing all this when there's a security cam here.
It's
Or
all,
security eye.
What? Security eye.
Question, Jiro, did I read about any of that when I was reading about the calamity in the Raven Archives?
No. You did not.
Jiro, what do I know anything about when he said Ariane was fell and then found replacers? Sacrificed and found replacements? Is that part of the lore for her?
You've never heard of any of this.
Okay, just that.
this was all like in weird clumps in that dimension, like in the snow itself.
So my only theory when I was there was it was a prison of some kind, but for, I don't know, banished gods or something that are even too much to even keep in the abyss, because the abyss, whenever I had to go there and these shutters, was that just chaos, and that's an easy way of putting it.
We know that place we went to was a hell, though, right?
No, it's not hell. It's its own
No.
flight.
Willie says it is a hell to him.
Okay.
You know, I mean, a hell comes in many shape, ways, and forms. A hell could literally just be inside of a prison cell.
But yeah, it was weird.
It's not
it
a
was,
literal hell. Could be.
It was only on the ethereal that this information was, but the strange thing is the fact that there was no reflection above, that's weird. That's really weird.
I think it's separated from everything on purpose. If that voice that I think some of you may have heard, Jimmy heard, got out, I think that would be a terrible catastrophe. That might be why.
Well, that being said, all this fun little knowledge and lore is nice to know, but does this have anything to do with us or what we're trying to accomplish here today? in maybe next week or so?
I don't
Maybe
know.
not, but in my experience, the fact that we've stumbled across that place twice means it's going to have something to do with us eventually.
Yeah.
Well, that being the case, remember what you know, write it down if you forget, and then let's move on with what we're doing now.
And I actually wonder if Lauren might know anything about it, considering she has those what are they called? Bugs? And those are from somewhere else.
If that means that much to you, I'll ask her about it.
Mary.
Yeah.
You don't have to reply in text. Are you reading the
Right.
book, or are you more interested in knowing what books are here, or do you want to focus on the one book you were looking for, which is the history of Uthadern as pertained by the Lighthammer family?
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
But sort of while looking through the bookcase initially, if there is a book there that has anything to do with Yetis, I'm just going to point that out, or rather just mage hand it over to Silrin. Hey, have a look at this one.
Unfortunately, there are no books that have to deal with Yetis on that bookshelf. That's, this is more of a scholarly type of read. Yetis would be like, how not to get fucked and died. So, the city of Uthadern was actually founded in the wake of the calamity by a family of dwarves. This was back in 35 PD. Long afterwards, they held this civilization for themselves for, I think, over 500 years. Many different families have been melded and changed and moved together and joined unions across one another, keeping the populace very, very fulfilled. The first of the families were the Bronze, the Lights, the Hammers, the Born, and the Woods. Do you need me to type those out for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Or, well, I can do it myself in the notebook if you just repeat them once.
There you go.
Right.
These were all of the predominant families that founded this place inside of the Alps in the wake of the calamity and who started Uthadern itself. It wasn't for those first 500 years that there was a tragedy that struck a very local area. It was the elven city of Melissimore. That last word's Mir. I know that one. Melissimere?
Gotta love Elvish writing.
Molasses. All right, we'll call it Molasses. There was a huge tragedy that struck them, but that's not written about in this book because it's not their history. And as such, the elves were forced to flee the Savalier Woods, which is the surrounding forest at the very tip of the Alps themselves. After they fled, they found sanctuary here and were brought in by all of the dwarves. And that's been this way for roughly 1,100 years or so, since it is 1606 now.
Yep.
Or 1631 now. Yeah. Just shy of 1,100 years that the elves have integrated into the society. As such, this city is actually a diarchy, which means there is a queen and an king that rule over. There is a dwarven queen and an elven king. However, they are just the figureheads of this civilization. Underneath them is the Grand Arbiter, who is in charge of the law, the system of the city, and the protection of it. Those two are literally figureheads that have political sway, more or less.
Right. They serve more of a kind of a symbolic role to some extent.
Correct, because both of them are of the original family bloodlines as well. The symbol of Uthadern's diarchy is actually a glass blade, which is a black hilt, a circular guard, and a hooked blade made of glass. The circular guard has black on one side and glass on the other, symbolizing the union between the two different cultures. In addition to that, there's been many tragedies that have struck around the wildlands themselves. This was one of the sites where one of the betrayer gods fell in battle before they were banished past the realm of Exandria.
Right.
And somehow this city, despite every single bad situation that has come across, they have survived. They have dealt with immense famine. They've dealt with 5 years of winter being this far up north. They've dealt with the crushing, pelting, falling of different mountains and everything else that would happen around them, surviving. They thrive no matter what. This city is a city for survivors. It's a harsh landscape to live in, but somehow Uthadern has not fallen in 1600 years.
Right.
Sounds like Wild Mount Vasselheim.
So,
All right.
with all of that, you do know that each of the different founding 5 family members came here with a goal. Each of them had a different skill set that allowed them to build this fine city and survive. The Lights had a holy divinity to their practiced religion, which is... Sorry, this is a lot of information since you looked into this specific book. Religion of Uthadern. Religion of Uthadern. Allhammer.
Right.
They were devoted sanctifiers of the way of the Allhammer in themselves. They were very well reformed worshippers of the Allhammer, even. The Hammers, they were very strong warriors in the way of combat. They were a very strong attack force, very good hunters. The Bronze were the defenders of everything. They built strong shields, towers, walls that were nearly impenetrable and unable to be destroyed. The Borns had an affinity for life. So they were very, very good at growing crops, at sustaining life, at delivering children despite the harsh environments. All of that they were exceptional at. And the Woods... they brought everyone together and brought them here. The Woods family didn't have a clear-cut purpose, and in fact, they're the only family that has not been melded with many of the other ones inside of Uthadern.
Did you also say the Bronze hadn't?
That Bronze did not.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. There is a sect of their family that is still Bronze, as there's probably a sect that's still Lights, still Hammers. But Bronze have moved into different families, whereas the Woods, they're still just the Woods. They haven't moved into any other families yet.
Right.
They're gonna love Dorzen's hammer.
Yeah, probably. So that's everything you read from the book before eventually the door opens up, everybody. And you see a smug-looking dwarvish individual step in. Despite the fact that everyone else you've dealt with has been much more well-refined and matured, this individual looks to be still in his younger years of his life. He has a twisted mustache that curls upwards, a mohawk across his scalp, and currently wearing fine cloth clothing with a leather vest over top of himself, with simple colors against it, but definitely very high crafts in his own regard. And importantly, his beard is pretty short. I mean, it only comes down to like his chest. It doesn't go any further. And as he walks in, he moves past everybody and looks over at all of you and goes, we were expecting you all. Good of you to come here today. Pleasure. I am Arbiter Batchwell Lighthammer. It's pleasure. And he goes and shakes everybody's hand. He sees you with the book, Mary, and goes, doing some light reading. I hope you enjoyed what you found.
Of course, and it's I reply in Dwarvish, by the way. It's a very fascinating read, and I haven't been here before, so I'd like to read up a little bit.
Oh, we
on the city.
We are a phenomenal city. After your mission, of course, if you would like to discuss specifics about it, I would be more than happy to do that with you all.
Well, we'll see. We might have to. Well, it depends on how well our mission goes, I suppose.
Oh, I have the utmost faith that you all will be safe. I mean, the hunters usually never send anybody out here that would fall so easily.
No, exactly.
Excuse
right.
me. He walks over to the corner. Kuma, you're the only one who sees this. As he like looks up at the scrying eye, and just like, you can go now. Shoo. Everyone else just sees him shooing a corner, and the eye kind of just leaves.
Yeah, Joe, quick question too. You when you were mentioning the history, you said that underneath the queen is the Grand Arbiter. When we were getting described by Major Bronze, this guy, he's just an arbiter, right?
That is
Not
correct.
the Grand. Okay.
That is correct.
Okay, right.
Yes, the Grand is a different title for a different individual.
Right.
Like local justice Supreme Court.
Prime Minister. Supreme Court. So yeah, he goes over to his desk, sits in his chair, goes into his drawers. All of you, if you don't mind, please have a seat. Being around such tall folk make me a little skittish sometimes.
Right. Well, I go and have a seat.
You all tell that the legs of these couches and chairs are shorter than the standard legs for couches, and his desk has a heightened platform of sorts. So despite the fact that he is a dwarf, he is currently seated taller than everybody who is sitting down there. It's just...
So are my legs taller than his desk?
Sometimes.
It's basically made so he can look down on us.
Exactly. It's a power move for people who have this position.
The 6'9" lizard folk sits down.
Yep. And your legs crunch into your...
Mars sits down.
Yeah, your legs crunch into your chest. Just...
At that point, it's like...
What'd you say, Willie? I see you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Can I check if I have any mail for this guy?
Roll an investigation. No, you do not.
Just sit down cross-legged on the ground, because more comfortable than having your knees up to your chest.
Sure. And he'll smile and, he's not saying anything, but he's judging you. He's clearly judging you. So, it is a great honor to have all of you come here to help me. And yes, I did. To help me and my family, and all of our fine people of Uthodurn. Have you had a chance to look at our briefing? We sent it out to you about a week and a half ago, hoping that it would find you along your way. No?
No. Well, we got a bit delayed, as it were, and well, we're here now, but we haven't seen the briefing.
Oh,
regrettably.
Let me start going through his drawers. Okay. So the briefing had all of the material, but I believe I'll be able to go off the top of my head. You see, originally we thought it was just a pack of wild wolves that were attacking people. Usually not an issue. Then we thought it was a pack of winter wolves, which is very odd because winter wolves are seclusive creatures, only really coming together in pairs during mating season, of course, and then going their separate ways. Sometimes trios, but rascals. He looks at the room where nobody laughed, and
Kuma just nods his head like, yeah, that's about right.
I imagine Fang was like looking to Silrin to wonder what the heck that he meant by that, but Silrin's like, don't.
Fang's still running around the city somewhere.
Wait, what? I thought he was with
He
us.
sees doors and smirk at his joke.
Yeah. No, she is running around the city, having a blast. Fang's having her own adventures while you guys are doing this.
This is a one-shot he's doing on the side.
Will he be looking through the quasi while just standing there?
So you're just standing, staring?
Quasi ran off somewhere. I said I went exploring.
Oh, have it roll a stealth check.
It's invisible.
Have it roll a stealth check with advantage.
Ooh. Okay. Stealth. 24.
That will actually get past the security in here. Cool, go ahead. It's running around. So.
Right, yes, because we heard there was winter wolves and apparently an alpha winter wolf.
Yes, we thought that as well because there were so many of them brought together. But it turns out it was a lot of Yetis. Yetis have been moving in from the eastern Alps over towards our location in recent time. Usually they stick over there by themselves and don't come this close to our civilization, but apparently they found the need to move closer and set up shop in one of our local mountain ranges.
I see.
Yes.
Have you had any a tradition of conflict with these Yetis before? Or?
Once upon a time ago, yes.
Right.
Currently, however, they stick to their side, we stick to ours type of deal, but it turns out that they've moved into our area.
Why would they move?
I have no idea. I have not tried parlaying with them, because every time we send somebody out there to communicate, we don't have them return.
Right.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it, but well, if these Yetis are somewhat territorial, it seems to me that maybe something has driven them off. That may actually be the source of this.
Maybe. But anyways, as to why this is happening, excuse my brashness, I don't care. The problem at hand is the Yetis that are attacking our people, stopping us from trade and commerce, and stopping us from picking up much-needed supplies. We are actually getting dangerously low on the amount of food we have to support all of Uthadern's inhabitants.
Oh, right.
So, as such, we have put in this work order, and we updated it twice now, for fear that a group ended up not wanting to take it. You will be paid handsomely for the execution and removal of these Yetis that are trying the Uthadern population and being a blight upon us all.
Right. Yes,
Oh, hey, Grinsky's here.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do that. Although, what if we were to, well, at least endeavor to attempt a bloodless solution to this? I mean, if we get to the source of the their relocation, as it were, then maybe we'd be able to simply get them back to where they were.
Our work order is for the execution of the enemies of Uthadern who are attacking us. Yetis are not civilized folk.
Oh, fair enough. Right.
Job says execution, so execution is what it will be.
Good. Glad we have an understanding on that. I was hoping that you all would be responsible enough to handle this situation. With tact,
yes,
of course. We're not asking you to, massacre them or anything like that. That would be inhumane. We just want them to be rightfully motivated to leave and kill who is necessary to make that possible.
Right. Well, we always strive to go above and beyond, as it were, you know.
Wonderful.
So, right.
So, can I have you sign the contract here?
Yeah.
He twists the contract around towards you, Mary, as everyone in Uthadern now thinks you're the leader of the party.
Quick question too. Is he asking everyone sign it or just Mary?
Well, Mary is being called the representative of your group. So as the Slayers will see it, it is all of you signing.
Okay. Sylvan will stop Mary from signing real quick, and he's gonna take a careful look over this contract.
Sure.
I
Roll an
didn't really have a
investigation.
chance to
Just find
to
those, like, you know,
respond,
that
but I was going
fine
to do the
print
exact
and
Yeah.
same
all
thing,
that.
so-
All right, so Mary's doing it as well. Go ahead. Next time, please let somebody finish before interrupting them.
Sorry, I didn't realize. That's my bad.
sorry.
I'm sorry. You said investigation?
Yes, both of
Or-
you.
Uh,
8. Yeah, it looks like a contract, Silverin.
there we go.
5. It certainly is a contract.
Well, looks good to me.
Nothing malicious here. Just-
Does it say anything about any assistance from Uthadern in?
Uthadern will be giving you the necessary equipment, if you so need, to scale the Alps themselves, which you've already outfitted yourself with, as well as a map of the Alps that will greatly assist you in this endeavor as well. And with any needed information as pertaining to the Yetis themselves and their whereabouts.
Right.
And
a
in
quick
return
question
for
also.
a job well done, the party will be receiving 2,600 gold.
Fair enough. Is that the party total?
Total, yes.
Also, quick question. While I was skimming through the history book there, was there any mention of any family heroes of the Lighthammer family or anything like that?
The Hammer family, yes. The Lights, unfortunately not. The Lights were just the religious sect that kept everybody safe and whole and together and helped them, cured them. While the Borns were the nurturing side, the Lights were the divinity of them.
Right.
The Hammers, however, there's not any one person who stood out in that book in particular. You were just reading like a glossary of this is our history. Instead of, if you want more information, he's offered to tell you anything you want. You just gotta talk to him. He likes
can I
talking
just-
about himself.
Yeah, of course. I just want to roll a history check quickly.
Sure.
If I sort of may have heard of anything like that before.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of hammers in history that are famous.
Yeah.
But not people.
Yeah. Well, before we sign, I was sort of wondering. Well, I know your family, or rather, the Lights and the Hammers, were among the first founding families here.
Oh, you got to the good part of it. Yes, we were of the founding 5 that
Yeah. Well,
establish the discs themselves.
right. Well, I just sort of realized that, well, taking care of this problem would be, well, it would be a very good sort of, it would bring a lot of honor to the family of whoever does it, I would suppose.
Absolutely.
Which
Though-
is why,
Honor is not
Mhm.
the most important thing, of course. The safety of Uthadern is what we strive
right, of
for.
course. Yes, of course. Oh well. Well, I was hoping that maybe we could have at least one person from the city as a guide, maybe, to help us traverse the mountains. And I know you may have lost people already to these Yetis, of course, but
I do not wish to force someone to serve their duties in a manner such as this, but if you would like to ask for a volunteer, we can bring
Well-
you over towards one of our different districts and see if one would be available for.
right.
And I would gladly put my name behind this endeavor so they know the authenticity of your request.
Right. Well, that sounds good to me. I'm sure we can find someone capable who'd wish to help us,
Wonderful.
and in turn help their city, of course.
Absolutely.
Right.
You are some of the easiest adventurers I've ever dealt with, I have to say. I mean, your friend over there's just been idly nodding the entire time. It is wonderful. And you just see Willie.
We don't like to, beat around the bush too much.
Oh, that is good. That is good. There are few bushes in all of Utherdun.
Yes, I've noticed.
We only have trees.
Joe,
What are you saying, Kuma?
can I take a look at the contract a bit? Since I dealt with a lot of them in the past.
I mean, sure, at this point he's getting a little curious as to why all of you are more interested in the contract, but go for it.
Investigation.
Kuma on a 21. This contract outlines that you will only be paid in full only if you have proof of the extermination of the Yeti situation inside of the Alps themselves. Yes, if you cannot prove it to them, they will not pay you.
I knew there was a little thing there.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like malicious intent or anything like that, it's one of those bureaucratic bullshit moments.
All right, so it looks like we just need to bring back proof that we dealt with the problem in the Alps, and then we get paid in full.
Well, of course, yes, that is part of the job.
Yeah, because
And I suppose our guide would serve as a witness in any case. So.
Anyone willing and daring enough to go into that area will have the honor necessary for us to believe them as one of our own. But if you do not mind, I have a lot more bureaucratic bullshit that I have to deal with. If you don't mind if I continue working at my desk and you all have fair days?
So you're not volunteering to come along?
I am a politician, ma'am.
Right.
Yes. My influence is to find the right person for the job. And the right people are right in front of me.
Of course. No, I just figured, well, no, I knew. No matter. Just, right, we'll go out then, I suppose. Anyone have any protests to signing this? No?
As you're walking down the hallway asking the private guards of all of these people, hey, do you wanna? Oh, here's my crest. And he writes on a piece of paper with his crest and hands it over to you, Mary, since you're such a nice person. These people are looking for a civil volunteer to accompany them and escort them into the mountain range where the Yetis are believed to be. If anybody chooses to do so, they will be hailed with a benefit upon their safe return and given a statue in their honor inside of the disc of their family's association.
Right. I was just sort of, because I remember you saying last time that this guy was, the impression was that he was sort of trying to prove himself a little bit.
No, that's the other guy, Bronze.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Bronze wants
bad
to prove himself.
All right, yeah.
This guy will get a
then.
big, nice feather in his cap when we solve the problem.
yeah. Lighthammer is the one that's very prideful and arrogant. He's the one you want to stroke his ego.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bronze
exactly.
is the one who doesn't believe Lighthammer deserves his position.
Yeah. So I sort of had it half right.
Mhm.
I was trying to sort of entice this guy to sort of get,
Oh no, he's way too smart for that.
All right.
He's an
Even with
arbiter.
Right.
I don't care how persuasive you are. If you look at someone and go, "Hey, buddy, do you want to jump in that dragon's mouth?" I think you would be a hero for doing it.
No, I'm just saying you can come along and
Nope.
come along and take the glory.
No.
I mean, hey,
He's safe here. If you fail, he'll pay for more.
hey, command does wonderful things.
Yeah.
For 6 seconds.
Yeah,
just
I,
sign
I wouldn't. I wouldn't go about trying that on this guy.
Alrighty. So, everybody, I think now that you have your mission statement, this is an okay enough spot for us to all take our break, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.